Will the virtuous Sangha, out of compassion, for the sake of this assembly and all living beings, please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thịnh, vì thứ pháp hội cập nhật thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đắc lạc, tốc chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Namo Saranto Suchedo Ye Allah Hudi San Miao San Putos Ye. Namo Tak Tak Tha To Ya Da Ya Allah De Tam Ye Tam Bo Da Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom and thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng she wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu wo jian jian wen de shou chi yan jie ru lai zhen shu yi. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Venerable Hui Neng, Venerable YongHua, and all good no advisors, Emitofuo. Chư Phật菩萨六祖师父上人各位出家人各位善知识Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Lục Tổ, kính thưa Thượng Kinh Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện sư, A Di Đà Phật. Okay, welcome everyone. Today we are continuing our discussion of the 6th Patriarch Sutra. Today is the 20th of December 2020. We're finishing up on chapter 8, nearing the end of chapter 8 and the end of the 6th Patriarch Sutra. We're presently on slide 139. From last week's lecture, there are two outstanding questions. Okay, go ahead, YouTube. By the way, I believe Go Forest should have a wide angle view. I don't know why they keep messing with that. Switch that to wide angle view. Anyway, go ahead, YouTube.
This question is from ninjacheckmate. Question is, Master, 6 months ago I was hanging out after work and we were getting ready to leave. I had one of your books and said something about it. One of the people there said, I don't believe in the Buddha, I believe in God. Do you believe in God? I told him, I don't know, but I do believe in the Buddha. This is where I am lost because, like here in the Dharma you mentioned, let them be, go believe in God. There was a YouTube video of a monk that said, in Buddhism, you believe in God as a powerful force and not as a creator like a person. I have problems believing that Jesus is God. or that there is an all-knowing, all-loving being that created the universe. I know Mahayana is not in the books, but I've been coming for a year and there's no talk of God. Did Shakyamuni Buddha create the Saha world, which is known as the Milky Way galaxy?
Is that one question or 20 questions?
He had a very long lead-in, and he had one question at the end, which was...
Okay, this neat 20 questions to one question. Oh God, where do I start? Yes, we believe there's a God. It is part of the cosmos as described by Shakyamuni Buddha. It would be clearer if you follow the Avatamsaka Sutra that we're starting to elaborate on Saturdays. It describes the universe, and including a universe. In that universe, there's a God called Indra or Chakra. That's the Christian God as they know it, or the Jade Emperor as the Taoists call him. So yes, these are beings, they're the heavenly beings, and then more than just God, there are other heavenly gods as well. So it's not a big deal. Just because people don't believe it, it's only because they have not been exposed to the information, or the source of information are not credible to them. My source of information is not from a scientist, not from the scriptures. My source of information came from primarily the people I know and trust, meaning my late Chinese master, who I believe I know to be a great bodhisattva. So I trust what he said. These in Buddhism, these bodhisattvas came from where you are, from where I am, and they practice Buddhism. They studied Buddhism, so they learn just like you about these concepts of gods and from universe creation, all those things, and as the Buddha explained it. And eventually, as they progressed and they get better, they got to verify it themselves. So that's why I trust my Chinese teacher, who verified for himself. That I know I can. That person I know I can trust. I trust. I would stake my life on what he says. So personally, I believe in him. But it's up to you, up to your friend who doesn't believe. It's no big deal. We're not forcing our beliefs on anyone. Who cares, frankly, if he believes or not? It's his life. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't make me any richer or give me better food to eat or a red car to drive. It doesn't matter. So people take this the other people's opinion too overvalue the people's opinion. And let me put it this way, a little bit more, in a way that's more insulting to you. Do I care what a teenager says about Buddhism, what he says about what he knows? Should I even try to convince a teenager that there is a God, there is a Buddha, there is all these things in the world, in the universe? It's not worth it. It's okay. Let them be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Okay. Live and let live. That's our attitude. It's okay. They don't believe. They criticize you. They slander you. They lie to you. They cheat you. They steal you. They're just being themselves. It doesn't matter to us. We all get what we deserve. Okay? Yes, I believe there's a God. In fact, he's actually not unfamiliar with our temple, and actually he comes to listen to our lectures quite often. Okay, but Let's not advertise it to the Christians and Catholics. They might get offended. But God gets to be God because He does what He pleases, as He pleases. He doesn't need to get your permission. Are you kidding me? So, did He create this world? Of course not. He doesn't have the power to create this world. Even Shakyamuni Buddha does not have the power to create the universe. Okay? That's not what he does. However, before Shakyamuni Buddha became a Buddha, he decided to create this world called the Saha world, or you know it as Milky Way. So that's his world. Yes, this is his creation, not God's. Actually, in each world, there's a God known as Christian God. It's the equivalent of the Christian God in each world, who also are very popular with people in the lower levels, humans like us. Okay, so it's the cosmos as the Buddha described it. But Genesis, as the way they put it, is a figment of imagination. I doubt any of them who practice follow their religious teaching ever could verify it. Okay. But in contrast, in Buddhism, our bodhisattvas verified it. Buddhists are actually very skeptical, very practical in a way, because we don't believe blindly. We believe initially, and then eventually we get to verify it ourselves. Okay, you don't ascertain these facts for ourselves. We quit. You say, we find something else better to do with our lives. Okay, and that's being practical. In contrast, the scientists or the other people of such levels of intellect and worldly knowledge, they don't have a choice. The scientists, if they quit being scientists, what are they going to do? We stop being Buddhists. We're free to become Catholic. We can believe in God. No one's going to stop us. Okay? But if you stop being scientists, what are you going to become? A non-scientist? These low-level people? Oh, that's impossible. Okay? Keep an open mind. Did I miss any question of those 20 questions? Did I leave out anything that I should have addressed? Okay, that's not my problem. When you sneak too many questions in, I'm confused too. Second question.
Alta-D asks, Master, last lecture you said that Master YongHua is evil and that sages are most evil. So is Buddha evil too?
Buddha is the exception. Yes, boss. I am afraid of you. Are you trying to entrap me? Because I deserve it. Of course, my master is evil. He's very evil. He asked me personally. The way he treated me, I feel is very evil. So it comes from personal experience. But I forgive him. Because I'm not evil. Okay? It's for you to find, and for you to find out. It's for me to know. I know he's evil deep in his heart, and it shows in the way he treated me. But you're welcome to find out for yourself. I know his devoted disciple would be up in arms and say, "This guy is heretic. He is an infidel. Let's kill him. Let's shoot him. Let's slander him. Let's get rid of him." That's okay. Do whatever you please. Okay. That's not what he would teach you. He would teach me, and what he taught me is that it's perfectly okay for me to believe he's ego. Just because he didn't teach them doesn't mean that they know everything. Okay? So, yes, he's so evil. But on the other hand, he chooses to be evil towards me, but extremely saintly towards his real disciples. What can I say? Huh? Look at that woman right there. She's devoted to him because he treats her so well. Okay? I'm still a little bit miffed about it because he treated me so badly. So that's the way, that's life, you know. When he treats you badly, he's evil. When he treats you nicely, he's saintly. My view is very simple. Yes? Try to refute that. Okay, can we go back to the sutra? Okay, 139 sutra text. Your disciple often studies the Mahaparanirvana, para, not pari. Is it pari? Para. Nirvana Sutra, but he has not yet understood the principles of permanence and impermanence. I beg the High Master to be compassionate and explain them to me.
弟子常览涅盘经，为晓常无常义，启和尚慈悲，略为解说。
So now after all the nice amenities and polite sayings, this guy, what's his name again? Xíng Chāng, right? His Chinese name I cannot remember, bro. Xíng Chāng. Okay, Xíng Chāng. Sorry, Master Xíng Chāng. So Xíng Chāng, who became a monk and really had no go-to training except study the books, the scriptures, which is the case of most of you Buddhists. It's very hard to find a good teacher. It's impossible to find a good no advisor, even during the times of the 6th Patriarch. You know that? Even at the time, he knew that the 6th Patriarch was a bona fide good no advisor, a great no advisor, and yet he could not draw close to him. That's the proof right there. Even if you know it's a good teacher, doesn't mean you have the blessings to receive the instructions. It's very, very difficult. Okay? So now he's here, he's there in front of the 6th Patriarch, and then he couldn't wait. He said, oh, I can't wait to ask you this question. It's been burning in my mind. This Pari or para. Can someone verify it for me, please? Yes? Para, not pari, right? Pari sounds too weird to me. Okay? Paranormal, like X-Men.
X-Men? Yeah, para means best.
Para is best?
Yeah.
That's from Sanskrit?
Yeah.
You see, this guy knows Sanskrit. What about pari? What does pari mean in Sanskrit?
Pari is prefix, it means again.
Again?
Yeah.
Pari, pari, here I go. Here I come. Okay, thank you. Very good. So it should be Paranirvana Sutra. So he says, I've been studying this Paranirvana Sutra, and I don't understand the principles of permanence and impermanence. Okay, those are major Buddhist principles. So will the Master explain those concepts for me. 141, Sutra text. Master said, impermanence is just the Buddha nature. Permanent is just the mind discriminating good and evil, dharmas.
诗曰：无常者，即佛性也；有常者，即一切善恶诸法分别心也。
You see, you expect that from the 6th Patriarch. He called permanence as the way you know it, as the Buddha nature, which most people know it as permanent. So he called whatever we know as permanent as impermanence. And what he defined permanence as what we call as the mind discriminating, meaning this discriminating mind is impermanent. This mind here is very, very wacko. It's very whimsical. And it's sort of funny that we have these two questions that maybe were planted somehow. Because what I said about evil and good is the same thing. It's a similar thing. When you have extreme evil, there's extreme goodness in there. It's only those phony people, those people who are trying to sell you, who claim that they are good. Because in the goodness they exhibit through their behavior, through their kindness, hides evil, waiting to spring. Okay? The good teachers, like my teacher, he showed his evil to me. I said, you can be so evil. It's so beautiful. I never seen anyone this evil before. And you know what? I will not be like you. I'll be just the exact opposite towards my beloved disciples. See, it's called the world of duality. It's like the Taoist has a beautiful concept. I need props, people. I cannot explain Dharma without props. Okay? Oh, there you go. I have a prop. Are we ready? This is how the Taoists explain things, okay, in the world. You see this? See? You got my point? Okay, this is what the managers, executive have on their table. You know that those the metal balls, they press one and ding, 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 and it goes up, and ding, 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 and it goes up. You know that? It's a cool toy for us. Shall we invest? No, let's not. Yes, we do. Yes, let's not. Let's not. Okay? So this is evil, goodness. Evil, goodness. Evil, goodness. Is there such a thing as pure evil? As pure goodness? Mm-mm. They're always together, like the two sides of the coin. You say the coin's only heads, then you missing this. The flip side is there's a tail. In that evil here, he's been treating me, he also is very good towards me in some other ways. But me being stupid, I only chose to look at the evil side. You see? I say, you're so mean to me. Why are you so mean to me? What I can't see is the goodness that he did for me, than my not knowing, why I don't even know. Being sick and wacko, I only see the evil side. Got that? But his disciples are evil. Huh? Look at her. That's evil right there. Okay? So it's funny. Now the Buddha, the 6th Patriarch, it's funny. I don't know how the timing of these questions is really weird. So you get my point? If I think my master is so evil because I see he's extremely good. Okay. They have to be together. There's no such a thing as an extreme evil only. That always has extreme goodness in it. You cannot say that evil is evil. It also has goodness in there. That's why we can't kill them. We have to extract the goodness out of them. Just like I have to extract the goodness out of my master. One day. So far, so good? So he says, impermanence is just the Buddha nature. What is the Buddha nature? The Buddha nature is this unchanging, permanent thing that pervades the universe, that will never change, has always been the case and will never change. And yet he says, impermanence is just the Buddha nature. And then he also says, permanence is just the mind discriminating good and evil dharmas. We know about what he's talking about, don't we? When we like someone, what do we say? He's a good person. Yes or no? Huh? When you like someone, you don't understand him, you misunderstand him. He's really a good person. That's what my disciples blame me. He says, the guy who's been giving you a hard time right now in the Chanchi, okay? I used to warn you, he's evil. But you say, no, he's a very good person. See that? When you like someone, whatever he does, whatever she does, it's so good, it's so nice, it's so sweet. When you don't like someone, he's so evil, he's so mean. It's incredible. How can a monk be like that? Okay? That mind there, you see? And then the guy that I like so much and so protective of him all these few years, now I feel he's so evil. So I speak from personal experience. I used to look at him as, oh, he's a good person. Now he starts intentionally doing things that harm me. I think he's so evil. Okay, I'm recovered. See that? That mind there that decides who's good and who's bad is actually a whimsical mind. It changes constantly. Right? At home, when you fight your husband, right? Husband is so bad. What an ugly person. I don't know why I married him. I give you some flowers. Oh, you're so sweet after all. I misunderstood you. That mind right there. If you decide who is good and evil, that mind constantly changes. But I don't think my master can do anything to change my mind. Not this lifetime. Next, 143, Sutra text. Hi, Master. Your explanation contradicts the Sutra text. Xíng Chāng replied.
曰：和尚所说大为经文。
Drop the Xíng Chāng. Because in Chinese, it doesn't even mention the name Xíng Chāng. Yue is he, implied he, not Xíng Chāng. So the English translation is to add Xíng Chāng is not necessary. It's not true translation, in my humble opinion. Yes, Pink.
Yes, Master, I checked the name of the sutra. I say Mahaparinirvana. It's not
Pari?
Yeah.
Not para? Shame on you. Parinirvana. Okay, so I don't know why it's pari. Maybe they like baguettes. Okay, we leave it alone. Don't correct the para. Change it back to Parinirvana, please. Okay. So he replied, drop the Xíng Chāng. These people, they take too many liberties. It's just not clean thinking. You translate whatever is said. Don't add, don't subtract. So Xíng Chāng immediately objected. He says, what you said is contrary to the Buddha's teachings. Evil! You're so evil! In other words, how dare you contradict the Buddha's teaching? You see? Oh, so after all the politeness and all the nice sayings, how are you? I miss you. I've been thinking about you. And then Xíng Chāng immediately turned to his scholars and said, hey, what you're saying is contrary to the scriptures. 145 sutra text, the master said, I transmit the Buddha's mind seal. How could I dare to contradict the Buddha's sutras?
诗曰：吾传佛心印，安敢违语佛经？
So the 6th Patriarch says, I transmit the Buddha's mind seal. What is the Buddha mind seal? This is very important Mahayana, only in Mahayana. I don't think you guys know what this is. That's why I ask. What is this mind seal? Who knows? You, Buddhists, researchers and experts, please explain to me what the mind seal is. No one? No takers? YouTube has an answer. Go ahead, YouTube.
The answer is actually from Jewel Mountain. They said it's a mind-to-mind seal.
What's this mind-to-mind seal? What is this nonsense?
It says it's in our principle, correct? It says it's a mind-to-mind seal, and the message was it's in our principle, right?
In the principles we recite every night? Yeah, that's the one. Okay. Okay, let me explain to you. These people read too much. Here's what happens. The Buddha, when he came to our world, he taught a lot. He talked so much. And most of it, we don't understand. We don't know what he's talking about. We have no clues what he's talking about. Actually, in a lot of his teachings, they're broken by various schools into different periods of teaching, you will. They classify his teaching by periods, okay? He never really defined his teaching by periods, but later, the researchers, the Buddhist scholars, broke his teaching into, classified them into teaching periods. So what happened is that his teachings, actually, if you look at those types of classifications, sometimes they're contradictory. Okay? Furthermore, that's the first problem. Second problem is that people misunderstand them, especially scholars misunderstand them. Okay? So that's a problem in Buddhism. There are people, even from Buddhist monks and specialists, who studied Vinaya, who studied the sutra, the scriptures, over the years, for the entire careers, they still don't understand. They still misunderstand the Buddhist teachings. And they are not in a position to reconcile the differences, the contradictions in the Buddhist scriptures as recorded by our ancestors. So far, so good. So that's why in Mahayana only, the Buddha created this system called patriarchs. Well, he says, after I'm gone, right now I'm alive, you can come and ask me questions and I can answer them for you to your satisfaction. After I'm gone, you won't have the chance anymore. So how do you know? Because my teachings, as recorded, as being written down, passed on from ear to ear, from person to person, from scriptures, on the scriptures, later on when they were printing, how do you know they're correct? You can go to this person called Patriarch, okay, who will verify for you if the teaching is proper or not, if the teaching is correct or not. So that's what a patriarch does. Sorry, Chinese have explained it that way. I came up with the explanation because it really bothered me. I looked at the patriarchs. I said, what on earth are you doing? Why are you patriarch? Why aren't you doing anything? You know what I mean? You patriarch. How come you're not doing anything? Or, he's a patriarch. What did he do? Okay? So patriarch is what the Venerable Hui Neng just said. He said, I transmit the Buddha's mind seal. What is that? He said, it means this mind seal here is originally came from the Buddha itself. Shakyamuni Buddha, okay, transmitted the mind seal to the first patriarch called Mahakasyapa. So he says, in that, he says, whatever I explain in my scriptures that's being recorded will be properly interpreted by this person called First Patriarch. That's what he certified. I certify, mind to mind seal. My mind certified that his mind can properly understand my teachings. That's called mind to mind seal. So far, so good. So the first one, the first mind to mind seal, think if you will. You take a stamp. He took a stamp. Shakyamuni Buddha took a stamp and stamp on Mahakashyapa's forehead. They say, your mind is proper. Boom. And that's why you see this. That's the patriarch seal, the Buddha seal. And then after that, Mahakasyapa transmitted that seal to the second patriarch in India called, anyone knows? Pink.
Master, is that Venerable Anand?
Huh?
Is that Venerable Anand?
Venerable Anand?
Yeah.
I don't know any Anand.
Or Ananda? I don't know exactly.
Yeah, Anand is Vietnamese, you Vietnamese guy. Two Vietnamese. So ethnic. Ananda. It's a very nice sounding name and you have to butcher it. Anand. Turn me to Anand. I say, Anand? I know what he meant, of course, but two Vietnamese. Yeah. So he transmitted. Venerable Kashyapa said, okay, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. So I transmit to you. So now I do a mind-to-mind seal. I take my seal here. I put a seal on your mind. Your interpretation of the scriptures of the Buddhist teachings is proper. See, it's so critical. So when you listen to these patriarchs, whatever they say is the Buddha's, is consistent with the Buddhist teachings. That you can be assured of. Don't get me wrong. Be clear, let's be clear. Mahakashyapa does not understand all the Buddhist principles. Okay? Let's be clear. But his interpretation will not violate the Buddhist teachings. Is it clear? Let me explain this and put this in a way that will help you understand. If you will, these patriarchs, they're patriarchs because they understand the fundamentals of Buddhism. Okay? The variation, they're always Tibetan interpretation, there's always Vietnam interpretations, and all those people. But all the interpretations are still based on the same common denominators called proper Dharma. So far, so good? Yes, they call it Anand. Good Lord. Instead of Ananda, but still it's the same thing. You got that? Isn't it beautiful that this guy butchered up the second patriarch's name? And actually it's a good thing. First reaction, you're so evil. But it's a good thing, you see that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because it's still the same person, yes? Who understands the fundamentals of Buddhism. Whatever he says, whatever he tells you will not violate the Buddha's teachings. That's so important. Let me ask you, why is it so important? When you understand things, you read things in the books, yes? In your books, yoga, statistics, really? How can you be sure that you're right? You can't, right? Listen, there's engineers and scientists screwed up, and 20 years later they realize that we're not supposed to draw near plutonium. Look what happened to Marie Curie. She died a miserable death, right? Scary death. She didn't know. She exposed herself and her child to that for 20 years. Of course we don't know. We only try our best, right? That's all we have. Okay? The difference in Buddhism is that we cannot afford to have you go wrong like that for 20 years and kill yourself. That's why you go back to someone called a patriarch. He says whatever he interprets for you is proper, is consistent with the Buddha's teachings. Why? kimchi girl. Why? This kimchi girl is something else. She drives, and I fall asleep so easily. Love the way you drive. Why?
What was the question?
What is the question? See what I mean? I put her asleep myself. It's a mutual thing. She look at me, she fall asleep. I look at her, I fall asleep. I'm so animated as a lecturer, as a Dharma speaker. You will not find a monk like this clownish, and put you to sleep. I know. Go back to sleep. Hopeless. What they're referring to, this mind seal here, is that it's the certification this person is enlightened. Okay? They will not certify someone who's not enlightened. Never. Enlightened person have the proper perspective, the proper knowledge. That's the difference. We don't. We don't know that it's proper. They know it's proper. That's the difference between us and enlightened people. Enlightened people, when they say something, they say, oops, I screwed up. Okay? That's wrong for me to say that, because they know it contradicts the Buddha's teachings. They know that. Okay? They, so when you point it out to them, they say, oh, you're right. I didn't know about that. But now you explained to me, yes, absolutely, I was wrong. They will verify it for you. Okay? And when you do that, when you have that kind of certainty, then you can be sure that you're in the right tracks in your practice. That you're not wasting time. You can rest assured it's okay. Okay? So that's what a patriarch will do for us. 6th Patriarch is the 6th Chinese patriarch. Once Mahayana was transmitted from India to China, they started from first Chinese patriarch was Bodhidharma, second Chinese patriarch was Venerable Hui Neng, and then third patriarch is Xíng Chāng, something like that, and then up to the sixth one, which is Hui Neng. Okay? So these people have the lineage of mind-to-mind seal patriarchs. That's why he says, I transmit the Buddha's mind seal, meaning that the 7th patriarch will be certified by me. Okay? How could I dare to contradict the Buddha's sutras? Because if I transmit the mind seal, the Buddha's mind seal, patriarch mind seal, I would not dare say anything that goes against my Buddha's teachings in the sutras. Okay? So far, so good? Does it help? So that's why it is so important for you to find a patriarch to study under, not an idiot like me. Remember, the arrangement we have is temporary, right? As soon as we know the second patriarch, who's going to say, I'm the second patriarch, okay? Then we should all go over there and study from under him. Otherwise, you sit there and say, is he for real? But until then, you have no choice. All right? Now, 147, Sutra text. Xíng Chāng replied, the sutra says that the Buddha nature is permanent, and the High Master has just said that it is impermanent.
曰：经说佛性是常，和尚却言无常。
Okay, again, drop a Xíng Chāng. Okay, he says, I quote the Buddhist sutras. Buddhist sutra says the Buddha nature is impermanent, and the High Master just contradicted the Buddha scriptures. Interesting so far? Huh, Billy? Yeah? Huh. Next, 149, Sutra text. It says that good and evil dharmas, reaching even to the Bodhi Mind, are impermanent, and the High Master has just said that they are permanent.
善恶诸法乃至菩提心，皆是无常，和尚却言是常。
Okay, reaching even, reaching even to, including the Buddha mind. This is so Chinese English, Jinglish. Okay, correct that, please. Okay, cube question.
Master, you said that enlightened people don't reveal themselves. I think you also said, but I'm not 100% sure, you said the patriarch also, they don't say they are patriarchs. So is 6th Patriarch revealing himself? Maybe there are exceptions to that rule?
I said a lot of things that I don't mean. I'm no patriarch. Why do I care? Excuse me. No, with all due respect. At that time, the Venerable Hui Neng was recognized. He announced himself to be the 6th Patriarch. He certified himself to be 6th Patriarch. Okay? He announced himself. That's what patriarchs do, eventually. They announce themselves. But they don't always have to. Okay? But there is a difference between enlightened people and the patriarchs. Patriarchs are enlightened, but enlightened people are not necessarily patriarchs. Right? They're not here to do the patriarch job. They're here for sightseeing, for, I don't know. Whatever they were here for, whatever the reason they're here, is none of my business. Okay? But they're not here to be a patriarch, whereas some enlightened people are here to be a patriarch. Okay? In a way, it's a good thing, because those so-called patriarchs still need to answer to enlightened people. They're not above enlightened people. Okay? All right. 150, commentary. Furthermore, it says that good and evil dharmas, including the Bodhi Mind, reaching even to. What is reaching even to? 乃至 is not reaching even to. This is probably old translation, very old translation. Are impermanent, and you just contradicted that. He says, he quoted the sutras again. He says, this is what the Buddhist sutra says, and yet you contradict them both. So far, so good? Make the correction before we forget, in this slide as well. (151) Sutra text. This contradiction has merely intensified your students' doubt and delusion.
此即相违， 令学人转加疑惑。
152. Xíng Chāng continue. He says, this bothers me for a long time, but you contradicted everything that I learned on my own. Because in particular, it contradicted the scriptures, the Buddhist scriptures. Okay? And that creates even greater doubts in my mind. Before, I only worried about, I was confused about these concepts of permanence and impermanence. Now, the way you explain to me creates not only adds even more doubts about. This is polite. Maybe you don't know what you're talking about. Because you contradict the scriptures. Sounds familiar? Huh? That's what idiots do. Is it fair to say that Xíng Chāng is an idiot? Yes? Who says yes? Oh, he's an idiot. Why are you hesitating? You don't have to be polite. He may be a monk, but he's an idiot monk. Not all monks are the same. Monks have to learn too themselves. Until they know, they're idiots. We're not like the Chinese. Monks are like pedestal, revere, bow. No. Monks in our times have to prove themselves not to be idiots. That's what idiots do. Idiot monks, they don't understand. They don't cultivate, they don't meditate to try to really understand. Instead, they quote the scriptures, they quote the masters and say, this person is doing against the scripture, against the master's teaching. Therefore, this person is wrong. So, they're too stupid to understand their teacher's instructions. They're too stupid to understand the scriptures. And that's why they selectively pick a small portion and they say, this is wrong because it's a contradiction. Isn't that what we're witnessing here with Xíng Chāng? How do you know they're wrong? Xíng Chāng here doesn't go out there and say, hey, 6th Patriarch Sutra is wrong. 6th Patriarch teaching is wrong. He contradicts the Buddha scripture because the Buddha scripture says so, so and so. He simply privately asks the Master, I have a problem here. I don't understand this. And you explain it to me. It's contradiction of the Buddha's explanation. Yeah. Versus in the internet times, the stupid monks would publish it on the internet, post it online, says this guy is wrong because it contradicts, the Buddha's teaching because the Buddhist master's teaching. Maybe their master teach it like that because they're stupid, because they're idiots, because they're like teenagers. They don't understand. So that's why you can only tell them so much. And then they think they know everything. They think they don't realize that this teaching only applies to them. You understand? The kids, when you teach children, You tell them, behave, listen to me, do what I say, don't do what I do. Right? Sound familiar? That's what we all tell our children. If you explain more, they don't get it. Don't burp. You see? That's what they understand. That's all they can understand. You don't want to confuse them. But listen, do children stand there and say, I know everything there is to know about life, do they? Do they say, how come you teach me like that? And you tell my sister to go and on dates and stay up after 9:30 p.m. It's not fair. They only talk like that because they're children, because they're stupid. So such behavior, okay? It's okay to say, I don't understand, I disagree. But to proclaim that this person is wrong because I understand, because I'm a teenager, this person says it goes against my what I know, okay, because I quote my parents as saying so, okay? It's idiots would do that. Only idiots would do that. People wisdom. Remember what we started this lecture with today? He said, let it be. Let them be. You no need to criticize them. No need to judge them. None of your business. (153) Sutra text. The Master said, formerly, I heard Bhikshuni Xīng Chāng recite the Nirvana Sutra.
诗曰：涅盘经，吾昔听尼无尽藏读诵一遍。
154 commentary. Venerable Hui Neng said, before, in the past, I heard Bhikshuni Xīng Chāng recite the Nirvana Sutra. Xīng Chāng is one of, in a prior chapter, Xīng Chāng is the Bhikshuni who specialized in reciting the Mahaparinirvana Sutra, and she came to ask Master Hui Neng a question about the sutra that she recited, but she couldn't understand, and Venerable Hui Neng said, "What is your question about this sutra?" And she says, he asked a question, she stated the question, and then the Master said, would you mind reciting the sutra to me? Because I cannot read. She showed him the sutra text, okay? And he said, says right here, the sutra says right here that that is so. And the Master said, I can't read. Would you mind reading it to me? So this Bhikshuni, the nun says, you can't read? How can you possibly understand the sutra? So that's why this is why the Venerable Hui Neng says again, formerly I heard her recite the sutra. So Venerable Hui Neng said, I tell you what, I can't read, but why don't you read me the entire sutra for me? And then I know as a reference, I know to know what the Buddha is trying to teach you here. All right? So that's why he says, yes, I heard about the sutra being recited by this Bhikshuni. 155, sutra text. When I commented on it, there was not one word or principle which did not accord with the sutra text. My explanation to you now is no different.
辩为讲说，无一字一义不合经文，乃至谓汝，终无二说。
So Master 6th Patriarch says, when I explained that sutra to her, answer a lot of questions from her, it's all consistent with the Buddha's intentions and Buddhist teachings. Okay? So I'm telling you the same thing right now. Whatever I tell you, what I just told you, is also consistent with the sutra's meanings. (157) Sutra text. Xíng Chāng replied, your student's capacity for understanding is superficial. Will the High Master please explain further? Again, drop Xíng Chāng.
曰：学人识量浅昧，愿和尚委屈开示。
So he replied, 学人识量. Your students' capacity, recognition capacity, understanding capacity, your students' understanding, capacity for understanding is superficial. Will the High Master please explain further? Okay, so he says, it's shocking to me, but I don't understand. Please help me some more, explain more for my sake. 159. The Master said, don't you understand? If the Buddha nature were permanent, what use would there be in speaking of good and evil dharmas?
师曰：汝知否？佛性若常，更说什么善恶诸法
？160. Commentary. The Master said, don't you get it? If the Buddha nature were permanent, what use would there be in speaking of good and evil dharmas? He says that if the Buddha nature is permanent, as you read it from the scriptures, okay, then all living beings are Buddhas, and there's no need to save them. Why bother speaking of good and evil? Nothing to do. 161. Sutra text. To the end of an aeon, not one person would produce the Bodhi Mind. Therefore, I explain it as impermanent. That is exactly what the Buddha explained as the meaning of true permanence.
乃至穷劫，无有一人发菩提心者，故吾说无常，正是佛说真常之道也。
162. Commentary. So, to the end of aeon, not one person will produce the Bodhi Mind, meaning that everyone would have been enlightened already, and there's no need to aspire to become enlightened. Therefore, I explain it as impermanent. Okay, this is what the Buddha meant by the concept of true permanence. Let's continue and follow the Master's logic. Don't jump the gun, just listen patiently. Okay, endure this a little bit longer, and then you see it all comes together. 163, Sutra text. Furthermore, if all dharmas were impermanent, all things would have a self-nature subject to birth and death, and the true permanent nature would not pervade all places.
又一切诸法若无常者，即物物皆有自性， 容受生死，而真常性有不变之处。
164 commentary. If all dharmas were impermanent, okay, then all would have a self-nature subject to birth and death, to production and extinction, and therefore there would be no pervading. So P, not U. This is a typo here. All-pervading self-nature. So P, right here. Okay, so he says, basically he's trying to point out to him that you're looking at permanent from only the other aspect, the one side of it. Your view of permanent, impermanent is one-sided. Actually, permanent, impermanent has the other angle as well. You should be aware of. 165 Sutra text. Therefore, I explain as permanent. That is exactly what the Buddha explained as the meaning of true impermanence.
故五说常者，正是佛说真无常义。
Commentary on slide 166. Therefore, that's how I explain things as permanent, because that's exactly what I understand the Buddha's meaning of true impermanence. All right, 167. Sutra text. 佛彼为凡夫外道，处于邪常. Why is there a highlight for the Buddha? Okay. In not the C beta text, it's not.
The English translation originally did not translate our Buddha.
But Fo is the Chinese character is in the Chinese text.
Yes, Chinese is accurate. It's the English that we have doubt if we translate it correctly, because we have to alter the original translation.
Okay, fine. Then remove it. There's no need to, and there's no doubt. The Buddha, that's fine. If there's a Fo character in Chinese, it's there in the original text, the scriptures, then it's okay. Okay, so remove all these highlight and the parentheses. So the Buddha, for the sake of common people and those who belong to other religions, who cling to deviant views of permanence,
佛彼为凡夫外道，执于邪常。
for B. Oh, to compare? B here means compare or what? Okay. So basically, he says the Buddha, for the sake of ordinary people and the other religions who cling to deviant views of permanence, okay, for such people, next 169 Sutra text, and all those who follow the two-vehicle way, mistaking permanence for impermanence, formulating the 8 perverted views.
诸二乘人与常寂无常，共成八倒。
170, the commentary from Master YongHua, which is welcome. This is complicated. He says the Buddha explained the Buddha nature as permanent to those attached to impermanence, and he explained it as impermanent to those attached to permanence. More specifically, for the sake of common people and those who belong to other religions, who cling to deviant views of permanence, and for those who follow a two-vehicle way. And 171, It's mistaking permanence mistaking permanence for impermanence, formulating the 8 perverted views. Okay, those perverted views, whatever they are, there's no need to worry about the perverted views, and we stick to our Buddhist views. That's fine. Okay, it's the same thing. Yeah, same thing. That when you are a kid, teenager, we have to teach you to be respectful. We have to teach you to be truthful. I just talked to someone tonight, and she says, "I'm so upset with my husband." I said, "Why?" He says, "In Buddhism, the precept against lying is there?" I said, "Absolutely. We Buddhists don't lie." Okay? And she said, "That's what I thought. My husband lies." I said, "How? Shocking." He says, at work, he at home, this his cousin hates his guts, so his cousin told his grandma that he invited my husband over for his wedding, but really he never gave him an invitation. I said, "Oh, how shocking, how petty." He says, "You know what? On top of it, my husband, he's so stupid. He knew he wasn't invited, so he couldn't come over. So what did he do? He went to his grandma, gave her a red envelope, and said, 'Grandma, my cousin invited me to his wedding, but I can't go. Okay? Could you mind passing him this red envelope from me for his wedding?'" How could he lie to our grandma like that? I said, "It's a good lie." What's the matter with you? When we teach you the principles of not lying, it's about for kids who like to lie to get their ways, to have their lies, for people who lie to benefit themselves. That's how we teach them those things. But for adults, we tell our beloved female disciples to go home, look at the husband and say, "I love you," more often. See, thank you. Because it's necessary. For the peace of the world. So we have to lie for the sake of the world. Thank you. And he said, "But I'm so shocked you would tell me this." I said, Please. You have such a good man, you let go, and you have to learn to be nicer to him. I said, "Okay, I try. Yeah. Okay, these children, these stupid monks and nuns, don't know what the masters are teaching, trying to teach them. The teaching is for them, liars and cheaters. That's why he has to teach them, you don't lie, you don't reveal yourself, because you would try to reclaim things, reveal things about you to impress people. That's why, what does the Chinese say? 真人不泄露，不露相，露相不真人。Because for you, you cheats, you liars, you crooks. That's why I have to teach you that way. Understand? But if you're not a crook, if you're not a liar, I say lie. It's good for the world. That's Buddhism, folks. Buddhism is not one-sided. Even the Buddha has to lie. Remember the Buddha, at one time, the Buddha saw a kid, an infant crawling around, and he crawled on top of a well. And he keeps on crawling closer and closer and climbing up, and he's going to fall into the well. While his parents are listening to the Buddha's sermon with rapture. And the kid was about to fall into the well and drown to death. What did he do? He says, "Punk." Well, don't quote me. "Hey kid, would you like some candies?" Huh? And the kid immediately crawled to the Buddha for candies. Did he have candies? Of course not. He lied to save the kid. You see that? That's my proof. It's okay to lie to save the world. But don't lie for yourself. That's not Buddhist. It's not okay to lie. That's why if you're liars, we teach you not to lie. If you're not liar, we teach you to lie. Because you have to be better at lying. Because the time will come where, "Hey kid, would you like some candies?" And you have to believe it, that you have in your hand some candies. Right? This is so profound. Mahayana. And the internet is so impressed, they're so shocked. They say, "I can't believe this monk is telling people to lie. It goes against the Buddha's teachings." And that's all they're going to extract from today's lecture. I have proof this monk tells his followers to lie. It's right there in black and white, in video. And folks, my name is the Dalai Lama. Please remember that. Losers. Sutta text 172. In the ultimate Nirvana teaching, destroyed their prejudiced views.
故于涅盘了义教中破彼偏见。
That's why that's why, include the "that's why" here, not that the Buddha, that's why. Gu is that's why. Therefore, in the ultimate Nirvana teaching, therefore, okay? Add the "therefore" in there, in the text, our text. All right. 173, commentary. Therefore, in the ultimate Nirvana teaching, he destroyed their prejudiced views. He destroyed, add a he. All right, so the Buddha who's saying, teaching those things for a purpose. Same thing. Okay? The Buddhist teaching is actually geared towards the listeners, to the audience level. Okay? The Buddhist teaching doesn't exist by itself. Don't you understand that? The Buddha doesn't teach to empty space. He teaches to his students, to his listeners at the time. That's all. He had to teach them. He has explained to those people. That's why. Without those people, there's nothing to teach. Is that clear? So he, in 174 commentary, Master Xinhua made a commentary. He said, common people and non-Buddhists cling to false permanence. Shravakas and Pratyekabuddhas mistake permanence for impermanence. These two groups each have 4 perverted views, making 8 in all. Okay, so that's how these 8 perverted views are. He's referring to. You see, Master Xinhua, thank Lord that he clarified it for us. All right, next, commentary 175. What are those perverted views? Okay. See, we have a lot of typos here. Sorry about that. Commentaries 175 from Master Xinhua. Common people, ordinary people, and non-Buddhists turn the 4 marks of conditioned experience upside down. 4 marks of conditioned experience upside down, meaning that they misinterpret what they see. Conditioned experience, us. Our lives in Buddhism is called conditioned experience, existence. Conditioned existence, excuse me. Okay? Conditioned existence meaning that you here, you exist because of prior conditions. You are married because of prior conditions. You are divorced because you have prior conditions. You are her son because of prior conditions. You're here to pay her back. Okay? Okay? Your children are here because you have to pay them back. In your case, you're here to pay her back. Okay? So that's conditioned existence. Our lives, okay, come about because of prior conditions, prior causes that brought us to this point. We are here together of prior conditions because in the past we were together. This is a very common Buddhist advertisement. In the past we were together, long time ago, and we investigated 6th Patriarch Sutra together. We loved it and said, let's continue to investigate it together. It's very exclusive. It's not for everyone. It's not designed. These explanations are not designed to please everyone. It's for you, listeners, dear listeners. This is when we need to flash a donation button. Yes? So what are the 4 upside down views or perverted beliefs? It says, number 1, conditioned existence, suffering is bliss. So they mistake suffering for bliss. What does it mean? You eat white chocolate and Lindt chocolate, give me a call. This morning at lunch, one of my nuns' son says, open this gift of chocolate. This round bowl chocolate, you know what I'm talking about? Imported, you know. Again. And he says, he picked out these colors, one color, and says, oh, this is my first favorite. I look over, mine too. Okay? This is when we flash the image of that thing. That so subliminally we're endorsing this product. Okay. I'm glad you're here. Okay? So what happened is that you eat the chocolate, you think you're so happy, but you don't realize it's suffering, do you? Because eat chocolate, what? The boy doesn't realize he's overweight already. Huh? It's more suffering. This will make him look even more obviously overweight. So this pleasure, this good taste here, actually is causing suffering to him. He doesn't know. Unbeknownst to him, it's causing suffering. So that's why to this kid, of course, you adults don't have that problem, right? You know, he says, "Oh, I love this. I'm so happy." That happiness there is actually suffering. Because the mother look at him and say, "Oh my God." Every time he comes over, Master gives him goodies and encourages him to eat goodies. Okay? Because Master mistakes suffering for bliss. Number 2. So what's missing here? Pardon me, there's something missing, that's why it bothers me. Condition. See, this would make sense, make the rest of it consistent. Okay? No? Okay, never mind. So they mistake suffering for bliss. They mistake suffering for happiness, if you will. You know, to you, bliss is happiness. Okay. Actually, happiness is a form of coarse bliss, if you will. If you practice, you feel that the bliss you experience from meditation is far better than the sensual pleasure you experience. You will all find that out. Number 2, mistake impermanence for permanent. What comes to mind immediately? You mistake something impermanent for permanent. Anyone, please? So obvious. Canadians? Germans? Koreans? Kimchi people? Come on. The first thing comes to mind. Immediately. Hey, Tina. What first thing comes to mind? What we mistake something that's impermanent for permanent. No one? Oh my God, is it only me? Yes, sir, Pink. What's wrong with me? I'm worried.
A red Ferrari.
No. Go home. Most of us, mistake love to be permanent. Don't we? Look at you divorced people. Love is so impermanent, at least for most of us. Okay, so that's the upside down view, to take something impermanent for permanent. Okay, take something impure. Number 3, take something impure for pure. What? What's so funny? Anyone has an example for something that's impure and we look at it as pure? I have no clues. Help me out. Okay, $5. Cheapskates. Huh? Examples. Buddhist disciples from the better teachers. The other side of the tracks, who know everything. Blue. Wait. Impurity for pure. Example.
Cái vắc định đó, thầy, cái nghiệp đó người ta mới thấy cái vắc định, rồi mà cái người không có nghiệp đó thầy nó mới thấy được cái chánh, rồi cái người mà cái nghiệp đó, bất tịnh với không bất tịnh đó thầy, tùy theo cái nghiệp đó thầy.
Okay, go home. Okay, anyone else? What's impure and we take for pure? Yes, Pink.
Master, I think we often take our body is impure as pure.
Go to Korea. YouTube has the answer.
Yeah, Jewel Mountain says externalists think our body is our spiritual temple.
No comment. Yeah, are you trying to get me in trouble with the externalists? Let's stick to Pink. You're right. The primary, the very common erroneous view is that we look at our body as something pure. That's why we clean it every day. We wash it, unless you're French. I don't have any French disciples. Okay? So we like worship. We worship our body as if it's a temple. Yes, as if it's pure. It's not. Our body has so many impurities. Okay? And we really treasure our body. We treasure something is very impure. Okay. Number 4, no self as self. What is that? Keep things simple. No self here is you. You is actually are not real, and yet you look at yourself as me, and me. Okay? You are an illusion. You're but a dream. You're not real. Only your money is. Okay? So in Buddhism, we can analyze your self-image and we can dissect it. Why we believe that we are who we are. And the Buddha teaching is so precise. He says, you think that you for real because this is what happens to you. The 5 aspects. These 5 aspects explain why you look at yourself as real. But actually it's not. Because we know with that, those false views in such precision, that's why we can destroy those false views. That's how you have no self. That's how you will certify to no self, by destroying those erroneous views. Unless you recognize them as erroneous views, you will never be able to put an end to the ego. You always have an ego. Okay? The ego is made up of these 5 components. Whatever you think of you actually is built upon these 5 false assumptions. These 5 things that are inducing you to think that you're for real. That's how precise the Buddha is. And that's why when he taught that to his disciples were able to destroy those 5 erroneous views. And by destroying the last view, they reached non-self. And this is when I need the applause. Sign in the back. Okay? It's funny, people said, like our lectures are becoming more like a production. I say, absolutely. That's what we need in a time of pandemic. More entertainment. Yes, ma'am. Question? Oh, wow, she's asking.
Sorry, Master, but what were those 5 things that you were talking about?
Buddhist secret. That's a paying session, honey. 5 skandhas. It's called the 5 skandhas. 5 illusions. That those illusions are these illusions that you believe in them. That's why you have a notion of a self. First illusion, the body is real. The body is real. That's why we take care of it. We cherish it. We nurture it. We pamper it. Okay? If you pamper your body, then you're reinforcing the ego. You stop pampering your body, that's when the massage therapists go out of business. All right? I remember my ex-wife a long time ago. Yeah. Somehow her friend talked her into visiting this fancy hairstylist in Los Gatos, where we lived, downtown Los Gatos. This is long time ago, when I was a lot younger and more innocent. Not supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be something that still hurts. Innocent people, they're so stupid, so gullible. Anyway, I was in love. Please, you're not helping. I know it's a lie, but but it's necessary for the peace of the world, remember? Global peace. Yes, Pink.
Master, those were good examples.
Why my ears so red? Is that showing? Touche, yes.
Master, those were really good examples for number 2 and number 3.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so she listened to one of her friends, and Los Gatos is a nice town in the San Jose area, and it's way back then. So she went to see this hairstylist. I told you that story a while ago, but I never finished the story. So she disappeared for like 3 hours. I was worried. Is she seeing anyone else? I was very paranoid. And she came back looking like a Chinese empress with hair. You know the Chinese empress, they have these things, these round things on top, the hair tops on top of the head. I said, oh my God! I look at her and said, I knew better, Sean, I swear to you. I knew better than would say anything. I look at her and say, didn't know what to say. And she says, do you like it? I say, looking for words to say. And she says, $250. Remember, Joseph, this is like 50 years ago. Okay, long time ago, way before even your mother was born. And back then, $250 is worth about $10,000 right now. I heard the price tag, and I said, oh, sublime. How sublime. And I went to the bathroom, I cried. I said, I laughed, I said, how ridiculous you look. Why would you do a hair top thing on top of your head and pay $250 on top of it? Oh, these women, vain women are so, adorable. And she would not put her head on a pillow for 3 days. I was so miserable for 3 days. That's the ego for you. It's so much suffering. It's so ridiculous. God, to this day, I cannot forget that image of that top thing on top. Oh, yeah. So the first thing is you pamper your body. You know that whatever you think is real. All these things you touch, you see, solid things are real to you. Okay? If you believe that, then you are egotistical, among which you think the solid body is real. See that? It's not just a body. It's all things solid, that has shapes, has forms. Okay? You look at them as real. That's the ego at work right there. Okay? So the Buddhists have all these special skills, special knowledge to destroy those things. So that eventually, when the self is destroyed, those false views are destroyed, then you see your true self. Eventually. Excuse me? Yes? Yes, blue.
Thầy thấy cái hình tướng rồi thầy sợ tới bây giờ thầy mới đi cạo đầu phải không thầy?
I think so, yeah.
She said, Master, because of the hairstyle, it so traumatized you, that's why you decide to shave your head?
She looks so ridiculous that for the first time in my life, I felt pity for her. She can be conned by these people. Yeah. scary. That's why egotistical people are so easily conned. You stroke the ego, they buy anything, including paying $10,000 for a hairdo. 176, commentary from Master YongHua. Okay, now for the Pratyeka, these enlightened Hinayana Buddhists, sages, okay, they also have perverted views as well. What are they? Here's what they don't realize they're wrong. Okay? This is very, very personal. Okay? Our arhats, our Pratyekabuddhas still have perverted views. What are they? They take the bliss of Nirvana as suffering. Okay. Number 2, they take permanence for impermanent. They take purity for impurity. They take the self as no self. Okay. You say what? That's why they're crazy. If you don't understand this, it's okay. It's not for you. Stick to non-lying, remember? Okay, so even these Hinayana sages, they still have erroneous views. That's why they are who they are. And that's why in Mahayana, we look at those people and say, you're still an idiot. Don't think that highly of yourself. You have things that are so, your beliefs are so wrong. And you're so proud of them. 177, Sutra text. He explained true permanence, true bliss, true selfhood, and true purity.
而显说真常、真乐、真我、真净。
Commentary on slide 178. So that's why the Buddha sees these perverted views, these people with erroneous views, their prejudices. That's why he had to explain the truth about Nirvana, the true permanence, the true bliss, the true selfhood, the true self, and the true purity. How about dropping the hood? It sounds like Robin Hood. Okay? True self, that's good enough. Don't add the hood on top. That belongs to Amana appliances, the hoods. Okay, drop the hood, please. And he explained the true Nirvana. Okay, Sutra text 179. How come no questions tonight? Oh, you're in rapture. Yes. Give him a microphone. Pink.
Master, the first erroneous view in the second list, the bliss of Nirvana as suffering.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
Because you're not a Shravaka, you're not a Pratyekabuddha, what's the point in explaining to you? You don't know, you don't have the problem. Your problem is over here, 1 to 4. You can't even overcome 1 to 4. Until you overcome 1 to 4, then you run to this problem that only the Buddha knows, that the Hinayana people don't realize they have this problem. So that's why the Buddha says, boys and girls, there's more to learn. I taught you what I taught you so far. It's called expedience. I taught you to overcome 1 and 4, 1 through 4. And then actually there's more, 5 to 8 that you need to work on. Okay? So that's why this is only reserved for those people. Okay? Because the reference are wrong. Okay? 177, Sutra text. He explained, 178. Okay, so 79, sorry. You now contradict this meaning by relying on the words, taking annihilation and permanence, and decide that it's lifeless. Permanence, annihilation, impermanence. Okay.
汝今一言背义，以断灭无常及确定死常。
180, commentary. He says, you contradict the Buddhist meaning, Buddhist teaching, by relying on the words. Sounds familiar? I gave examples tonight. My masters, disciples, relying his words, quoting his words. There's so many idiots like that out there. Even my own disciples are quoting Master YongHua's words, because he belonged to the same group of idiots, the same level of idiocy. Okay? So they're interpreting the teaching, the sage's teaching, for idiots like them, and applying them to other people. That's what's wrong with this. Same thing is happening here. He says, what you understand here, okay, is your understanding from the scriptures, okay, actually are in contradiction to the Buddha's original intent. You think you understand, but you don't. And let me tell you in particular, what you're doing, you're taking annihilation and impermanence and decided that it is permanence, lifeless permanence. Your interpretation is too rigid. Your interpretation is too narrow. Remember, you're a bunch of punks that the Buddha has explained to you that way. Well, actually, when you have wisdom, you have to lie. Ding! Hello! We need more props. I would settle for something I could put behind my head with a light. Okay? So this is out of compassion that the 6th Patriarch explained it this way. Yes, Blue. That's from the...
Mô Phật và Thầy, cái điên đạo đó, mình con người điên đạo mà phải thiếu đạo đức không? Nó mới sanh ra cái điên đạo không Thầy?
Master, the people who are upside down, does that mean that they are lack of virtues?
No, it has nothing to do with virtues. It has to do with arrogance. You're so sure you know. You're so sure that you are right. And by being so sure of yourself, you dig up things to justify your position. That's all. That's all you're doing. You can take something, Buddhist teaching, and distort it and make it fit your position. That's all. So like woman tonight, I told you, she says, aren't Buddhists not supposed to lie? I say, yeah, you're right. My Buddha taught me not to lie. But I lie anyway. Because look, no one is coming to my temple. How am I going to make my mortgage payment? Never mind. You understand? So these perverted views are because of arrogance. They're so sure of themselves, and they twist the Buddhist teaching. They twist that teachers' teachings to fit their purposes. Buddhist teaching is never that rigid. Just remember, we teach you not to lie because you're a liar. But if you're not a liar, we teach you to lie better. When you're confused, don't lie. When you're not confused, you have to learn to lie. Does it make sense? Buddhist teaching is so fantastic. It's not a rigid thing. Okay? It adapts to your level of wisdom. And that's why you need a patriarch. It says, okay, boys and girls, don't lie, because you lie. Not you. You lie. Never mind. Okay? Because it's for you. But it's not for everyone. It doesn't apply to everyone. Question? Raise your hand.
Master, you say arrogance. How can we, is it possible that we can actually get rid of it completely? And how to do it?
There's a way, absolutely. Many people before you got rid of it already. It takes first that accept the fact that you don't know everything because you have an ego. If you stick by what you believe, you'll never be able to get rid of it because the ego will get in the way. You have to believe someone else who has no ego. It says, I got to know ego because I know how to do it. Because I did it already. Because the Buddha taught us already. And many of us have done it already. But as long as you said, no, I figure it out myself, chances are that you won't make it. Okay? For example, there are many people, like Hindus, like externalists, who practice their entire lives, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. They practice. They said, this is the only thing that makes sense to me. Okay? Once you experience these people have reached high levels of samadhis. That's why the bliss from that are much nicer than sensual pleasures. That's why next lifetime they say, something is still missing. Yes, I enjoy good food. Yes, I enjoy sensual pleasures a lot, but something is still missing. And it's not until they meditate, they practice, they recite mantras, and they do those things, that's when they experience that again. They say, wow, that's what's missing in my life. Okay? It's real to these people. Okay? So that's why there are a lot of people who are like that. There's something missing in my life still that the money cannot buy, that my husband cannot give me, okay? That my children's love cannot fill that gap, okay? And that's what they realize. It's true, okay? It's true to so many people. I'm not talking about Buddhists. I'm talking about the people who in a prior life meditated and follow a spiritual path. And now they have families, they have girlfriends, they have boyfriends and so forth. They're still not satisfied. They're still looking. and love their daughters to death. But there's still something missing. That something, there's something missing in the heart. Even love cannot feel that. Any kind of love cannot feel that. And that's why eventually they'll be drawn to the spiritual practice where they rediscover that thing that fills their heart in a way that external things cannot, that red cars cannot give them that happiness, that others cannot not give them that kind of happiness, but they themselves, only they themselves can give them that kind of happiness. That's life, my friends. Your happiness comes from within, not from outside. And yes, we can spend your entire life searching for external things. We can buy things. Okay? We can steal things. But all those things, okay, cannot fulfill this thirst, this hunger in our heart. That's just life. That's the truth of your existence. Okay? Let me elaborate a little bit tonight, and we stop, about annihilation, impermanence, and decide it's a permanence. Annihilation, okay? This is confused people. I'm sorry, I'm going to offend some people tonight, okay? So be it. Lies be told. Not truth be told. Lies, all these are lies for you, okay? Annihilation. There's so many of them out there who says, after you die, that's it. Okay? You die, doesn't matter anymore. So you take death as permanence, right? It's a permanent state. You die, doesn't matter. Your money doesn't matter. Your love doesn't matter. Your children will fight for your fortune. Okay? But there's nothing to you. Okay? You're gone. And that's it. Sayonara. Okay? That thinking is you take death or annihilation as permanent. Is that clear? That is wrong. After you die, you take on the next body, folks. Like it or not, believe it or not. All we do is after we die, it doesn't go away. Yes, this body goes away. It gets buried, gets cremated, and your bones gets crushed. But it doesn't matter anymore. You get a new body after 49 days. Cool thing. Huh? So it's not, death or annihilation is not permanent. It's a temporary phase that enables you to change hotels. That's all. So it's so wrong for worldly people to say, and I know I have a rich brother who is a lot richer than almost all of you. You are poor anyway. Okay. Who says very proudly, because he's rich, so he told his brothers, And his follower says, it doesn't matter anyway. After you die, it doesn't matter anyway. Might as well enjoy yourself. Why does it matter? That's stupidity. So, my own rich brother is very stupid. Don't talk to him anymore. Too stupid. A waste of time. Okay? Because they have these prejudices. They're so wrong. They said, after I die, it doesn't matter anyway. So might as well enjoy ourselves. Go steal from people as long as you can get away with it. Right? Don't you boys dare. Okay? Don't steal because it matters. You steal, you have to pay it back. Don't con people because you have to pay them back. The people who calling others liars and con artists actually are liars and con artists themselves. Anyway, so that's annihilation. That's for stupid people who says, I lie, it doesn't matter anyway. Okay? Yeah. So they said, so, and the next one, impermanence for permanence. I don't know how to explain this. It's late at night, folks. I don't know about you, it's Sunday night. I lost interest. Anyone help me out, please? What's impermanent and yet they think it's permanent? I just explained to you a while ago. I just tricked you. What's impermanent? You take for permanent. Clue. Thank you. Got that? Yeah? We think this thing that we want to believe in it. That's why I say, I love you forever. We want to believe it. When someone tells us, I love you, you think it forever, right? I say, yeah, of course. Baby, trust me. Yes, Pink.
Master, respectfully disagree.
What? What did he say? Respectfully what?
Respectfully disagree.
Disagree. Oh, he's such a liar. Okay, thank you everyone. Next time, 181, huh? Okay, thank you. Have a great week. You guys.